Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mohammed El-Kubaisi from the Application Engineering Group at Klagenfurt University. I will give you a short insight into our research as described in the workshop paper. It's about conceptualizing the field of emotion. We propose an appropriate domain-specific modeling language for this field that can be used standalone or as a plugin into other modeling languages. As there are only 8 minutes, just have a short look into structure of the talk and let's move forward. Cognitive psychologists understand human emotion to be biological states that affect human behavior. For example, when a person feels inspired, this can strengthen physical capabilities to perform usual daily activities. The opposite is true as well. Our research group deals with systems to support AAL, active and assisted living. So, we also want to take into account the emotional state of the persons to be supported. As a first step, we conducted a comprehensive analysis of the field focusing on languages, ontologies, datasets, and systems. This revealed a variety of approaches and theories, but no unified comprehensive conceptualization. Also, there is a variety of approaches to emotion recognition and system exploiting emotion data, mostly focusing on particular outcomes. Therefore, we started the work to establish a conceptualization for the field of emotions and to define a domain-specific language that covers all important aspects and may be injected into other modeling languages. In particular, we aim at empowering our HPMS system, human behavior monitoring and support, by emotion awareness. For method development, we followed the five-stage process model as proposed by Ulrich Frank and refined by Judith Michael and Heinrich Meyer. First stage is preparation, for example, our analysis of the field, language development including conceptualization and meta-model design, formulating rules and language usage, tool development using meta-modeling framework ADOXX, and evaluation of all this. Now, let's have a look on the core concepts we identified for our HEM meta model. It's quickly become clear to us that the focus is on what we call emotional situation, namely a situation in which a person is doing somewhat which she or he has the capability to do, where in a certain context, particular things or objects are involved, and a certain emotional states can be observed. An example, John is watching a TV, drinking a beer, and feeling good, as temperature that refers to the context is about 26 centigrade. This is the main view. We also introduce the concepts of capability situation that shall describe the influence of emotional states to capabilities. Each modeling language needs annotation, and voila, here we are. ES stands for emotional situation and CS for capability situation. All that seems to be rather lean. However, at a second glance, you will find out that the approach is quite powerful. Let's have a closer look on a very simple example. Figure A shows a model in M1 level for emotional situation in which the observed person in a certain context sees something on television. According to that, an instance representation language for level M0 is also represented. C shows a list of emotional situations actually modeled using HIM modeler. One of the design goals for HIM is to make it an embeddable domain-specific modeling language. We followed the paradigm of aspect-oriented meta-modeling by treating HIM as a cross-cutting one. Its elements are injected into the target meta-models through a meta-model weaving process. For example, we take a look at the weaving of elements of the HIM metamodel into metamodel of a human cognitive modeling language, HCML. The goal is to extend HCML to support emotion. Emotion weaving specifications define the rules to inject the HIM meta class operation into HCML target class operation in behavior units, representing an activity in behavior scenario to reflect the fact that such activities are affected by emotion. Now, we come to the end in this fight against time. We introduced a domain-specific modeling language, conceptualizing human emotion, designed a meta-model, graphical notation, and text-based instance representation language to be used as a pluggable approach. Currently, we work at provide the plugin modeler in OmiLab, extend the HPMS framework to deal with emotions while providing assistance. The author of this work. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much for this video, Mohammed.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So while we see if someone wants to share their questions on the chat, I would like to ask you, in the paper you mentioned that this is a work in progress. And I see from the presentation that the approach is still high level and theoretical. So I was wondering if you had the chance to perform some kind of evaluation, and if not, if you plan to apply this model in practice, and in which kind of scenario?
Yeah, in the near future, we plan to evaluate our system within human behavior and support monitoring system that already done and worked perfectly. This is one type of evaluation, but till now we evaluate the system using HIM modeler that executed by ADO-XX meta modeling framework.
Okay, thank you. And we have another question from Oscar, who is asking if you are going to explore any significant clinical application in your approach.
Yes, we depend on our experience with HPMS systems. We have some AAL scenarios. Then we will exploit these scenarios in our systems. But why not? We could use this idea. We can maybe apply if we get some information from clinic organization. Maybe we could apply this idea.
As Oscar is suggesting, maybe for old people care at home and similar applications. So you can take this as a future suggestion.
Yes, this, please. Yes, Heinrich. Because Oscar knows our work, and clearly we are not focusing on clinical applications. Our goal is to support elderly to prolong the ability to live independently at home. And up to now, we combined with our HPMS system activity recognition system so that we can identify what a person is doing. But now with Mohammed and our work, we want to extend this and also to recognize the emotions of people in order to support them even better. And this will, as you asked before, this will be the next step, namely to couple all this to make the software ready and then to make exercises in our labs to see if people, what we can gain or what is the addendum when using this emotion approach.
Thank you for giving some context, some additional context to this. Very interesting work indeed.